Welcome back. I hope you're doing well and are enjoying your learning from home. I hope you're ready to sit back and listen to a little bit more of the bet. We're going to read chapters 5, 6, and 7 today. Chapter 5 is called No Friends. And I want you to think about why the author titled this chapter No Friends. I have some ideas after how Marlin was feeling at the end of chapter 4, why he might be feeling like he has no friends. But listen carefully to the chapter No Friends and think about why it's called No Friends. Chapter 5. Marlin was right. It was tough. When he was in class, the day was okay. He just had to focus on his schoolwork. Maybe he would talk to Steve in science. The teacher had the class work in groups. Numbers were drawn. The groups were picked. The boys were not together. He looked for Steve at the morning break, but he couldn't find his friend. Marlin couldn't find Doug or Clark either. He finally found them in the library, but the break was over. Morning turned to noon. Lunch was a sad time. Marlin ate by himself. He did not even bother to look for his friends. Paul Shadd tried to hang out with him. Paul was a school nerd. He was a know-it-all, and everybody avoided him. Paul sat down next to him. Marlin knew he had to make a quick exit. "So what are you doing this weekend?" Paul asked. "I don't know. It's only Tuesday," Marlin said. He faked a phone call. Then Marlin grabbed his lunch. He quickly walked away. Would Paul follow? Nope. Close one. What was happening on the blacktop? Maybe he could eat there. There were a lot of students outside. He figured he would blend in. No one would notice he was alone. He was going fine. Then he saw Steve, Clark, and Doug walking on the grass. They were laughing. It looked like they were having a great time, and Marlin was not a part of it. Steve, his best friend, did not want him around. Marlin finished his lunch. He thought about playing clan castles on his cell phone, but he felt so bad he just couldn't do it. Remember, you're thinking about why this chapter is called No Friends. Well, his mom said, if you cheated, you should apologize. I tried to, he said. He took a bite of an apple. Did you say you were sorry? His mom was clearing the kitchen. She swept the floor. I think I did. You think? She asked. What does that mean? You either did or you did not. But Mom, it's only a game, Marlin said. Why is Steve making such a big deal out of it? If it's only a game, why did you cheat? His mom asked matter-of-factly. I barely cheated. Oh, you barely cheated, she joked. Marlin, please do not become a lawyer. Marlin stared at her. He felt bad. Why didn't she see his side? You have to own up to what you did, even if you do not think it was a big deal. Steve is your friend. You made a promise to him. He expected you to keep it. Now he felt even worse. He honestly didn't think what had happened was a big deal. I wouldn't care if he used a boost, he thought. Steve had been firm. Not using a boost was a rule. Marlin had broken it. Who would he hang out with now? None of the kids on his street were into Clan Castle. They liked Call of Duty or Halo. Blowing stuff up was boring. Marlin didn't like games like that. Neither did Steve. I will never have a best friend again, he wondered. So take a little time, just a minute or two, and think about why is this chapter called No Friends. You can enter that into your Canvas page. You can pause the video and then enter it in there and then come on back and we will start chapter 6. All right, we are going to dive into chapter 6 of the bet. We just finished chapter 5. Enter that into your Canvas page. Chapter 6 is called Gamer Down. Again, I want you to think about why is this chapter called Gamer Down? What details in the chapter make that a good title? Chapter 6. Homework was tough. It normally took Marlin a long time to finish. He usually texted while studying. Sometimes his friends would video chat with him, but not tonight. Marlin did his homework quickly. More time for playing video games, he thought. He played his favorite for a while. That was fun for 30 minutes. Then he wasn't into it anymore. He thought about playing Super Mario Maker. Ugh. No, all of his games were wrong. It wasn't fun now. Steve was mad. Marlin sat in his room. His Wii U was on. The system waited for him. He needed to insert a disc. What was wrong with him? Are you okay? Ashley asked. Marlin turned. His sister stood in the doorway of his bedroom. She wore sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Her sweatshirt was from school. It said Walden High Track. Yeah, Marlin said, I'm fine. Really? Why are you staring at the screen? How come you're not playing a game? I'm trying to decide what to play. Play Clan Castles, Ashley said. I just played it. Then play Brawl. It's no fun playing by myself, Marlin said. Play it with Steve, online. Marlin looked away for a moment. He didn't like talking about his problems. It made him feel worse. I can't. Why not? She asked. We're fighting. Why? She seemed truly interested. This made him feel better. Talking to his parents was nice, but his sister was so cool. She was only 2 years older than him. Ashley would get it instantly. He thinks I cheated at Clan Castles. We were playing together. We wanted to see who was better. Let me guess, she said. You cheated. Yeah, no, not really, but he thinks I did. Well, if you didn't, I kind of did. Then tell him you're sorry. Steve's nice. If he's really your friend, he'll be fine. I didn't expect him to get mad. That's what bugged Marlin the most. He'd made Steve mad. Marlin had wanted to win the bet, and he hurt his friend because of it. Well, he's not going to stop being mad. You need to talk to him. Sometimes Marlin and Ashley fought. Most of the time they got along. Tonight was one of those times. Marlin was happy he had a big sister. All right, take just a minute again and think about why this chapter is called Gamer Down. You may need to think about down being another word for sad. The gamer is sad or kind of discouraged. And then go ahead and enter into your Canvas page why you think chapter 6 is called Gamer Down. And then we're going to move on to chapter 7, which is called Boring Saturday. And again, you want to think about why this chapter is called Boring Saturday. Marlin didn't talk to Steve for the rest of the week. Not because he didn't want to, but there never seemed to be a good time. He thought about calling or texting him, but he didn't. He was afraid that Steve would not respond. That Saturday, Marlin felt weird. He didn't want to stay home all day. Video games had lost their appeal, and he really didn't want to do his homework. Yuck. Doing homework on a Saturday, he thought, that's what Saturday is for. Marlin called Clark. Sometimes they would hang out on the weekend. Clark and his family liked to hike. There were so many places to hike in Walden Lane. Nature was all around them. Miss Pham watched birds. She kept a life list. It noted every bird she'd ever seen. The Phams also traveled. Sometimes they went to San Francisco. They had family there. What's up? Clark asked. He seemed happy to hear from him. Oh, not much, Marlin said. Clark's happiness was a relief. Steve probably didn't tell him about the bet. What? Clark asked. I can't hear you. What's going on? He could hear loud noises in the background. Where are you? In SF, Clark said. It's my grandmother's birthday. She's 80. Oh, that's cool, Marlin said. He frowned. They talked for a bit. Then Clark had to go. So much for the two of them hanging out. Marlin called Doug next. He just got Doug's voicemail. What's up? This is Doug, his voice said. I can't talk now. Leave a message. Maybe I'll call you back, unless I don't like you. Doug laughed on the recording. Beep. Hey, Doug, Marlin said. This is Marlin. What's up? Call me when you get this. Bye. He hung up the phone. Doug liked to hang out with his two brothers most weekends. They were older. Each of them had a car. They drove him everywhere. The two bought Doug lots of stuff. It was a competition who was the favorite brother. Doug didn't seem to mind. Marlin called a few more people. They were not his first choice. Everyone was busy. Everyone had something to do that weekend. Everyone except Marlin. Remember, you're continuing to think about why Chapter 7 is called Boring Saturday. Your mom told me you and Steve had a fight, Marlin's dad said. Marlin looked up. He was playing clan castles in the living room. He could not get past level 42. He kept getting crushed by a falling castle. If only Steve were playing with him. Yeah, Marlin said. He took the disc out of the Xbox. He was going to play something else. But what? That happens sometimes, his dad said. Do you ever fight with your friends? Of course, his dad said, smiling. Really? Marlin didn't think grown-ups fought. Yeah, sure. It's not like fighting when you're a kid. His dad took out his wallet. It's different. Having friends is tough at times. Mostly it's really good. Yeah, right now it's not so good. Marlin wanted to call Steve. He would say sorry, then everything would be better. Maybe. He was just nervous about it. What would he say? Would he choke on the words? He still thought Steve overreacted. What do we have here? Look at this, his dad said. I found a $20 bill. He held it up. You did? Marlin perked up. Yeah, his dad looked around. Then he leaned in and talked in a low tone. Don't tell your mom I have this. I won't. Do you want to go to Penny Penny? Penny Penny was an arcade. It was old school. The vibe was retro. It had video games from 1980. They were huge machines. The music was a trip down memory lane. Cool. Marlin leapt off the floor. Can we eat lunch afterwards, too? His dad said. Yeah. Marlin was still sad about Steve. Hanging out with his dad would make him feel better. Fingers crossed. All right, head into your Canvas page and make sure you answer for all 3 chapters why you think that title is good.